All right, everybody back in?
Not quite. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you can refill.
All right. I think we can move through the rest of the agenda items here relatively quickly. Tournament report. Tournament committee. Let's get a quick monthly report, please. I guess, Chief?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you were not, who ran our Castle Hang monthly?
Figgy Smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Just a
it.
quick rundown.
Yeah, and I printed it up and I didn't bring it out. I believe the cash box is $369 right now, approximately. I'll send you the exact numbers when I get home. I printed it. I forgot to bring it.
Okay.
An extra $20 was added for the ace pool. The ace pool is now, I think, $216. So there were 40 ace pool people. So 20 of it went to the club, 20 of it went towards the ace pool. I believe it was 196 before, and I believe it's 216 now. So 20 went to the ace, went to the club, and 20 went to the ace pool. So it's 216. I believe it's 376. I'll give you the exact number as soon as I get home in a little while. There were no expenditures. We didn't do anything with juvenile diabetes or anything this past, and there were 43 people showed up for the monthly. It was incredible. It was incredible.
It's not a record. Not a record.
It's not a record, but it's close.
What's our record? We had 56 in January.
Mhm. With the ladies division, our first ever ladies division in January. Yes.
All right,
January? January this year was 56.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It wasn't cold either. It was a beautiful day. That was a little chill.
More shorts and short sleeves.
All right. Thank you very much, Chi. Castle Hane doubles. Do we have a quick oral report on that? Is Alan or okay? I guess they're not here. Kyle, why don't you give us a quick report on the Arrowhead action?
All right, we had 18 people for the doubles.
Nice. That's quite a
Great.
great.
That's good.
We have almost over $80 in the ace pool.
Nice.
So come and try to take it. And in the monthly, we had 37 people come out
In the rain.
in the rain. 7 of them left, but
It only rained the first
I understand.
They were all right. It doesn't matter.
29 records.
Let me just. Okay, is that it?
Boss,
Yes.
the guy in the back, got his hand up.
No, I'm saying I left.
I don't blame you. You're about to recognize.
I hate playing around.
Yeah, it was warm at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't work in the world, Phil. So it's great.
I mean, it was a good time. You know, we just had some low scores. DJ won with 91.
Oh, congratulations.
Nice, nice.
And we had someone hit an ace, their first ever ace.
Yeah.
Hole 2.
Yeah, hole 2.
Phenomenal.
Off a tree, $37. Everyone signed up for the ace in CTP.
Off the tree, huh?
Yeah. Better luck than good, right?
Alright, speaking of the ace pool on the Firehouse Subs,
Yes, please.
I talked with Jan Tabor, the owner of Firehouse Subs, and she's willing to insure almost like the Perry's Emporium Christmas snow crap in wherever. She's going to insure whoever gets an ace, whether it be at Castle Hang or at Arrowhead, they get a free Firehouse Sub. Alright, so
Very nice.
I'm gonna work up some sort of again sponsorship form for that. You know, that says that
Nice.
that they are the. Yeah, if anybody can think of a better name, I call it the bullseye bonus.
Very good.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds
So she, for 6 months, she'll be insuring the bullseye bonus, and then if we find somebody else who would like to do it, if Heath wants to give somebody, 15% off if they buy $50 worth of stuff, or we can go to any type of venue and get somebody to insure it, because it's not a guarantee that they're going to have to fish out money every month.
That's right.
They may not have to do it for 3. She may not have to give a sub out, for 6 months.
Right.
So
That's cool. That's awesome.
Jeff, once again, I'm just impressed, friend.
That
It's
is
wonderful.
great,
There's
man.
something going on new every month with this guy. I'm glad you eat out a lot.
Congratulations.
I did tell her that we would put a bumper sticker in the kiosk.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, let's get somehow or another a bumper sticker or something. And
She just
I'm
owns
sorry.
the Sanders Road one, right?
Huh?
Both of them.
She owns the Sanders Road, or she
No,
owns
she
both
owns
of them?
both of them.
Yeah, her husband is actually the one who spends
I've
most
never
of his
been there.
time right there on the Oleander store.
Chief.
Yes, I just want to update you on the Cape Fear Games cards. There's 9 left in the cash box. So I was thinking maybe, asking Heath if he wanted us to split it up with Arrowhead also, since actually Arrowhead's probably, I mean,
He
I
likes
don't know if it's
Arrowhead
closer or
better.
not, but
He
yeah,
likes-
so I mean, if you want, I can give like half of them to Kyle and he can, and do that. I mean,
He was feeling for his business that
Mhm.
he likes Arrowhead Park better as his sort of stomping grounds.
okay,
Not to neglect Castle Hayne,
okay.
but I think he almost would assume most of, if not all, be start geared towards Arrowhead, and that's okay.
All right. Well,
That's
with the
fine
next
if that's what he
monthly,
wants.
then I'll just get with Kyle and we'll just split them up, and I'll just let you know how we split them up. And
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And Heath will be starting to attend some meetings, so we'll get his input right then.
okay, cool.
Thanks to Clemson, who's not here, he actually put a procedure up for doubles on Facebook for everyone. I think it's live. I've seen it. If it's not on there, I'll make sure that it is posted in the public files section. I'd like to thank him for getting started on writing a procedure. It still needs a little bit of work, and I think he wanted to get with you on payout. I sent him your payout numbers, and he had some ideas. So you two get together and swap ideas if you would. Azalea report quickly. Dave, you want to just give us a quick rundown about our dates and the?
Sure. Yeah, I think we're locked in for the amateur on March
22nd,
22nd, 23rd. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's on Facebook. Yes.
And in April, I'm unprepared, guys. I don't know. April
No, I'm
5th and
sorry.
6th,
29th and 30th.
29th and 30th of March.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the
April
pros?
5th and 6th.
Is April 5th and 6th?
Yes.
So is that back-to-back weekends?
Yeah.
Yes.
The last weekend and the first weekend.
That's 2
I might
weeks.
have-
That's 2 weeks
I
difference
might
between
have-
22nd and 6th of
I
April.
thought
That's
you
2
were right
weeks.
the first.
2 weeks difference?
Yeah, because the
That's cool.
29th
That's
is the
fine.
next
That's
week
fine.
of
That's
March.
fine.
The 29th.
Yeah.
You say it's the 29th.
That's right.
I might have
I'm
a typo
unprepared.
here. I might have typed a typo over here.
That's
I'm
2
sorry.
weeks
Got it.
difference.
Anyway, one is in March and one's in April.
Yes.
So the thing is, and this is something we all need to talk about, and I guess we need to form the tournament committee as quickly as possible. Because in years past, what I've always done is I've always gone live. Now, obviously, the amateur is more well attended than the pro. The amateur filled last year, which we felt like it would. That's 90 people on the course. That's fivesomes every hole. That's as many people as you can have on an 18-hole disc golf course. I've always gone live the second week of February for registration. There's a lot to be done to get ready for registration. Now, I used Disc Golf United last year. I suggest that we do that again this year because it is the easiest way to take people's money on the internet.
Yes.
I
agree with that.
Yeah, and but the biggest thing we need to do is we need to design a flyer. We need to get this flyer posted on the website, NHDGC.com, as well as put it out there on Facebook and all that stuff. And we just need to set registration fees, all that stuff. So the tournament committee needs to be formed and needs to start meeting as quickly as possible because we've really only got about a 7-week run until we start taking people's money. If we want to keep that model, and honestly, with going to March, making the AM earlier this year, I would suggest at least sticking to that model, if not even moving it up a week or two. So that would push it in the first week of February, last week of January. So that's
All
what
right.
I would suggest.
Well, then, right now, I'd like volunteers for the Azalea Subcommittee, Tournament Committee. That's probably not the correct way to say it. Please call out your name. We got DG who, DG, I think that you're probably our Azalea TV. Or, I mean...
I don't want to be, but I...
Okay, well, if you don't want to be, I thought you did.
No.
If you do not want to be, that's okay too. Do you want to be on the subcommittee
Absolutely.
as part of the tournament?
I'll
Okay,
help
fine.
you guys do this any way that I can.
Great.
Absolutely.
Drew, I saw your name come up, and I'm sure Clemson.
So,
Who else raised their hand? Someone else raised their hand? Fig. Chi.
Troy.
Troy.
Anybody else back there? Is there a hand back there?
We got
Jason.
Lamarche
Lamarche.
That's all we need.
and Good Murphy.
I would like to just kind of throw this just out, just, you know, I mean,
I can
I
tentatively volunteer.
don't know if I would,
I
you
don't
know,
know if my kid will be here during that time.
I don't know if I, you know, when it was brought up a couple of years ago, it was like, it just didn't seem like it was a good idea, but now there's so much momentum. You know, Chuckster mentioned one time about running a tournament. No, never mind.
Okay.
He mentioned it one time a couple years ago, and the Spikeheiser Tour is done.
Quit holding back, Dave.
I love Chuckster. Chuckster's a great friend of mine.
Tell us how you really feel.
There's no need for Chuckster to have anything to do with the Azalea. If Chuckster wanted to come, the council
I
meeting
feel
run a
the same
Spikeheiser
way.
event.
I feel the same way, but
Plain and
I had to
simple
throw it out there.
From a competitor standpoint, Chuckster is a good friend of mine. I've told him this to his face. His payouts are terrible, and he's got so much on his plate that he loses a lot of what makes the Azalea special, and that's the details.
I totally
That's
agree.
the details.
I totally agree.
We've got it. We don't. If we have to have a TD, I'll TD the AM. If somebody wants to step up and TD the pro, Chuckster's great. We don't need him. We don't need it to be a spike.
I have the list, thank you, Dave. I have the list of all the people that want to be interested. I will post that.
He's a great guy. He's just
Azalea Tournament Committee, and you guys will work out amongst yourself, and I have a feeling perhaps maybe Drew or Clemson, one of you boys will want to step up and be the TD. Someone will figure out, kind of be the chairman of the subcommittee, and everyone will work out all the little details like stringing off OB and all those things. I do need to back up one clip we missed. The Arrowhead Redesign or Improvement Subcommittee. I need to take volunteers for that, please. So if you would please, one by one, call out your name for me, starting on this end of the room.
I'll do it.
What's your name, Dave?
All day.
I am
Serial number,
Duke.
please.
I heard him say his name is I am Duke.
That's it.
Next, who else raised their hand?
David.
David Massey.
Jeff Erickson.
Kyle.
Alan.
Yeah, no.
Both Alans.
Alan Squared.
Yeah.
And Wayne.
Wayne.
Drew.
You gonna do it, Max?
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Max is gonna. I'm gonna do it as well. DG and Max.
All right. DG, Max,
Troy.
Troy.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Rudy, do you specifically want to be involved with
I
that?
really
We
don't.
need to do she to the enforcer.
All right, so just let me say that, you know, the Arrowhead Subcommittee, there's a bunch of people on it right now. We need to get together on Facebook over the next week and find a time that all our schedules meet. I know everyone doesn't have their calendar in front of them. And we need to have a meeting and sit down and talk about what we're going to do there, get everybody on the same page. So we need to come up with a date that everyone can be there. We can't just have 4 people show up. Okay, so I'll start that. Actually, yes, I'll start that on Facebook, and over the next week, we'll set up the first meeting, and we'll get rolling and cracking on that.
Let's make sure we call Max and Wayne and make sure that.
Do you guys not
they're
have
on
computer
Facebook.
access?
Yes, well, I do
Okay.
now.
Okay, good, good.
Is that how we got left out of the last one?
At the last what?
The last time we walked around over there and y'all made these decisions, and I wasn't included, I'm wondering how I got left out of that.
You're talking about 11 and 13 again?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I told you about 11, 13 on the phone the night before. I don't know if you were listening
Night
or not.
before.
I'm sorry.
No, what I'm talking about is when y'all went over there and walked
Just
through,
lunch
when
one
you
day,
did the
said,
walkthrough.
You said it was just at lunch one day
I'm
or
trying to
something?
remember.
No, it was at lunch, and
I ran
you
into
and I
3 or 4
met
people.
there, and Kyle
And
and
it just-
Alan were already there.
Yeah,
We got a
just kinda
date,
happened.
It
we
was
got a
like-
date for, we'll work
Yeah.
out a date for the next one.
And it was not meant to be an official subcommittee meeting or anything like that, and I told you, I thought you were at work. You know, it didn't even occur to me to get on the phone and call.
Yeah, Mike
12
called me
other
and said the
people.
county has a problem with some safety issues, meet me out there, and then Kyle and Alan were out there when we got there.
Yeah.
And the 4 of us walked through together. It was just that, you know, and that was what, Wednesday afternoon?
So,
And then you met with the county on Friday.
yeah. So, you know, if I somehow never screwed up, I'm sorry, but, you know, had a lot of stuff going on last month.
Well, we've got one coming up now, we're gonna have a date set and everybody knows to be there, so.
That's it.
Yes, like I said,
And I'm going to set up my own Facebook account, I guess, because I've been asking my wife to sign in on hers. So
and you can use hers. It's not hard to do. You should have to set up a fresh one.
I'm not gonna screw with her crap.
You've been down that road.
Just let me say that whole kind of cunt came real quick and it was a little bit of panic mode. I'm sorry if I left anybody up. I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's all good, a little.
We are where we are now.
I did pick up the phone and call you about the work day, because I knew I
Yes,
could
you
have
did.
so
We're where we
I
are
was
now.
trying.
So you, right on. Hey, we got some stuff done though. See, that's very
That's
positive.
right.
Number 9's fixed, and nobody can walk away with 11 now, by God.
except God himself.
Construction workers working that one.
Unless they got their own backhoe down in there.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of concrete at the
To
bottom of
finish
that
up-
pin.
To finish up, also a Vibram qualifier for the Azalea Dave.
I mean, I haven't moved on it or anything. It's-
Okay. I didn't know that's going to be part of what the Azalea committee has to deal with. Our application with the PDJ, our actual application and paperwork, the procedure, that will have to be something that's the subcommittee handles. Just quickly running over a few things it needs to do, and the bins that Chuckster has for sale. I did get your email on that, and when we need to order. And you seem to feel strongly that we probably should get some. How many are you thinking?
4.
4 at
27 per.
427 per. So
Don't you
quickly
think?
explain what the bins are and
Those big gray bins that we have that we hold our discs, they are really, really, really hard to come across. The company that sells them 2 years ago changed their policy that they will only do orders of pallets or larger. I think it's actually containers. I think you literally have to buy hundreds of these things, or you can't buy them at all.
And they're still expensive at that.
They're
They're
very
going
expensive,
up,
they're very
too.
bulky. I mean, to ship them, it's really, really, really expensive. So Chuckster with the Spikeiser Tour has decided that he's going to bite the bullet and he's going to buy some. He's offered local clubs in North Carolina to be able to buy them from him at $27 a piece, which I think is a great price.
Well worth it.
Yeah, and I think with Arrowhead growing, and once again, back to some points that I've mentioned from time to time, I don't know if all of you guys have heard it, but we use Innova during the Azalea tournament to fund our prize stash of discs. And I would love, eventually, with this club growing like it is, if we can sustain this growth, if this growth is real and it's going to be here for a while, what I'm saying is the size of this club, I feel that it's time for us, one thing to consider is for us to take that over ourselves. And the only way to do that is to build up a club stock. And it takes money. It takes a lot of money. But I feel that we're in a good position right now to start that growth. And one thing is we've got opportunities to get those bins, because you can buy little bins, you can make cardboard, but the cardboard breaks down. These things, once you've got them, you've got them. They're there for life, and they're great to stack
I can stack them
amazingly.
all up.
Yeah,
Put
it's
'em
so
in the car.
convenient. I just think right now, if we've got the opportunity, I say
Let's
we
do
go.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right.
I would suggest we even get 6. If
I mean,
we're
if
talking
you guys-
about doing that,
We're talking about 150
building
bucks. It's not that much money.
I mean, if Arrowhead, if we're talking about having a stash for Arrowhead
The
also,
only thing is that at
Yeah,
6,
I mean-
we're no time soon will we have the discs to fill 6.
but
But if you guys, I mean, it's totally up to
Are
you
we have the
guys.
opportunity to buy them later?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll have them, and then we can just fill
I'm
them. as
saying,
we
like,
go.
if we can we
It's
get
kind of
more?
a one-time.
See, that's
No,
what I'm saying.
that's-
I don't know.
not at this price.
Now.
I don't know.
Not at this price,
I
probably.
don't know.
And
no,
stock
I
them
think
up
this
throwing
might be a
them
last opportunity
How
to
many
get a
do we
really
have
good
now?
price. We have
4.
6.
Is it 6?
Mm-hmm.
We
It's
have
at least
6.
5, because I think we had 5 and then there was an empty one because you
I
consolidated.
think there was 5 in the little, like.
Yeah,
small-
5, okay,
Okay,
5 and then the
5.
Discraft little
Okay.
box
5
that you had
and
there.
Discraft.
So 5 total is what we have right
Why
now.
don't we get 5 more? That'll give us 10.
I like it.
Okay.
We could do 5 for Arrowhead, 5 for Castleham, bring them all together for the Azalea. And, I mean, they hold like
Yeah.
frickin' 25, 30 discs.
Oh,
So
more
now
than
we're
that,
talking
I
about
think. I mean,
300
it's
discs.
like,
I
I
mean,
guess 30 or 40. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I said, if you guys are cool with 5, I'm cool with 5.
Unless anyone has any objections, I think we're gonna go ahead and give David permission to make that purchase, to pre-order so we can save our money.
Move, second, it's a move. There we go.
Mhm, second, done.
That's right, I should have
Aye.
Yeah, move it along.
I might even be able to pick them up in Tupelo in 2 weeks.
Okay, wonderful.
I mean, while we're talking about that, are we gonna have a separate boat for Kyle for Arrowhead?
That's what we're going to.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
I
Is
mean,
to have-
for you guys to have to pass this stuff on every month, every 3 weeks, it's going to be a pain. You guys are going to get tired of it quick.
Yeah, I'm already tired of it.
Yeah, only does it once and then I'm over it.
You're going to get tired of it quick. But that's what I'm saying is that, you know, I love what we're doing. I love that we've got action at Arrowhead, but you guys have to understand that it's a small club, and that's what we are. We are a small club. It's gonna be a draw on our resources initially to get these things separate, like what we talked about last time, the leaderboard, which is expensive, discs, which are expensive. We've got the money, I say, but let's all agree to let's
I
spend.
think that is the correct thing to do because we're only going to make more money
I agree.
off of what
By
we're doing.
doing
It's a
that.
worthy, it's a profitable investment.
I agree too.
Speaking of leaderboard, that's gonna be a future purchase at some
Yeah.
point.
We will we'll get one.
Or we're
Well, I
still
think
gonna have to
Brent
pass it
said
between
we
us.
might be able to borrow the CDLs for the interim time, so maybe for a month or two.
Russell has it.
Okay,
Good.
so maybe
Okay.
February, March, we can look at that and make it happen.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I have down here 6 charities that we all suggested and talked about, and I think that we can start next year in January, doing one every 6 months and then repeat the list. So each charity would get 2 months of the side game that Cheese has been running. It's real simple to do. We'll communicate with the other TDs about it, but at each one of the monthlies, and so we got 2 monthlies, so that's 24. Okay, so anyway, we have 6 charities. We will split those 6 up amongst the 24 monthlies. If we add more charities during the year, then we will. And we'll just do our little side game, and at the end of each month, we'll cut a check, and that'll be wonderful. They're listed here for anyone who's interested. The Crown Awards trophies, Dave.
Yes.
Those are our little trophies that we have for our end-of-year points race winners.
Top 3. Top 3.
The top 3, that's
probably
right.
the top 3 again.
So, I asked you to send me some information on it, and I think we should go ahead, if you haven't already, okay, I think we should go ahead and order those.
Are we extending the points race to Arrowhead?
Right now.
Not Arrowhead scores count towards Castle Hayden. I'm saying Arrowhead has its own
We,
points race.
as we discussed, yeah,
January 1.
Yeah.
we did talk about this, and I think the general consensus that we needed to keep Castle Hayden and Arrowhead separate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Points.
Yeah.
So that-
Since we're duplicating what we do at Castle, Arrowhead, are we doing points race as well?
Again, it's a great idea, and I'm all for it, but now we're talking about a new page on the website.
yeah, we're talking about double. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I do too.
Okay,
I
I
do too.
want to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to get this website stuff straightened out over the next month, I promise, and then we're going to implement it, okay?
Yeah.
Because it needs to be done. Because
Right.
people are asking for it, and it adds another level of competition. The more the better.
That reminds me, I have a question too about that.
Yeah.
With the Arrowhead thing, did y'all only do AM and pro divisions, or is there a chance of getting like an intermediate, advanced?
No, we do
Those are
recreational, amateur, and open.
So y'all won't do any like,
And
oh, you do
open?
open?
Yeah, open plays for money, AM plays for discs, rec plays for discs. So you have a recreational division for the guys that are new to the sport or just not that good.
But currently
Then you
the
have
rec
the
does not
AMs,
accumulate
those are the guys that
points.
are good, those are
Right.
you guys.
They don't
And then you have
accumulate
pro.
monthly points,
you
so
can
there's
do
an
it
end of
there.
the year.
That's what, he's talking about Arrowhead, he's talking about Arrowhead.
That's not
Oh, yeah.
Arrowhead
So,
thing.
yeah, we do rec,
Right.
rec, AM, and open.
Because, you know, we had 5 overlapping
Yeah.
cards. It seems like it should be another division in
But I'm not a
there.
professional disc golfer.
Oh, no, you're an AM.
You know, if you have 3 or
You're
more
a pro.
people,
You're a pro.
I'm not a
then you can
professional.
create your own
You
division.
are to look.
So if you have a masters division, you can do masters. If you have a women's division, you could do women's. If you have 16 and under, you could do that. But it's really kind of depends on the TD, really. I mean,
Well, it just doesn't seem right to go, you have to go from amateur to pro.
Side conversations. One meeting, guys. Let's
There-
bring
well-
it in.
Order, please.
Bring it in.
yeah, I don't, yeah, it's a good discussion.
We have for our points race, the pro.
Bring it in, guys.
We have for our points race just pro and just AM.
Yeah.
Our recreational involvement is actually increasing. But right now it is a little bit smaller, and no one from the rec division, I guess, except you're a rec player.
No, well, see, that's where I'm in the dilemma, because I'm not a professional player, and I'm not an amateur player,
Mhm.
and I don't really want to be called either, and usually there's either an advanced or an open or some
Well,
other.
that's what
So
that's
you
what
want-
AM is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just all it is name.
It's just logistics.
Intermediate and advanced
Those are
are
PGA
just two
terms.
different flavors of the same
Well,
thing.
We didn't have either one of those.
It's leading to two
That's a PDGA term.
big, I mean, there's 16-point division between the first and last place in pro. That's not really a division, in my opinion. That's blow away. I mean, that's 16-point stroke
There was
difference.
a lot. Well, there were some dudes that were playing pro.
Because you got to talk to Lamar
Well, you know,
and
if
Jason
we really
Goodler.
wanted
You got to talk
you
to
could
Jason
have
Lamar
6
about
or
this.
7 divisions, and then there'd be two
No,
people in
but
each
see,
division.
the problem I'm
So,
having
I
is
mean-
that I know some guys that are good enough to step up are winning the AMs and pissing off some AM players, and there's some guys like me who I don't really think I'm a professional player. I don't like calling myself a professional player, but I'm kind of being forced into the pro group, and so. But the cards are overlapping between pro and AM. There's a whole nother division in there. Is all I'm saying. I would like to play in that division and be competitive with those guys who are running the middle of there. You know,
Well, if there's an overlap, then the guys that are
it was 5 cards that overlap between pro and AM last.
we need 5 cards.
5 cards the same, the
Five
same
people. You're saying
score.
5 people.
Yes.
Yeah,
5 people.
Yeah.
Then that's always the case. If you look at any PDJ tournament in the world, the bottom of the pros and the top of the AMs are always there, and it's just about those people's decision.
Personal.
So, and this is the way that it works. The bigger the division, the more people that get paid. That's why when people are really good at rec, I'm like, why are you playing rec? If you have 5 AMs and you pay 2, if you have 10 AMs, you pay 5. So the more people in that division, the deeper it pays.
So I
you
get what
should
you're
probably
saying. Because most places I ever played before, like I played in a lot of North clubs, and they always usually had AM, advanced or open, and pro. Y'all are just doing.
I've never
rec.
seen a monthly with amateur, intermediate, recreational, novice. I've never played a monthly.
Well,
now PDJ tournaments, you're exactly correct, but these are just monthlies.
Yeah, well, this is up in Ohio. I've played some months like that. Well, they didn't always have rec. Depending on whether they could at least 3 or 4 more that wanted a rec division. That's what it was either rec or pro that would come and go depending on who showed up.
We're kind of set up too where we try to encourage moving people up. That's why, for example, the rec, we don't keep points. It gives people a reason to come in, learn it, and then they get to move up into advanced and they play for points.
If we want to call it
Then you move
recreational.
up to the next and you get to play for money instead of playing for plastic. You know, you might only win $12, but you can buy a cheeseburger with it. If you win $12 in AM, you're gonna get a frisbee.
Yeah, I was just trying to make a group I was competitive with. Like,
I see what you're saying, and
You know, if we get enough people, we can certainly do that. But with 27 people, it doesn't make sense to have 4.
well, my biggest question for it was for this point thing for the end of the year. Like, I don't want to start out in the AM or pro.
Oh, yeah,
and
so we're
bump and
bouncing
move.
around.
Yeah. I was trying to get a division.
That's
well, if you don't feel like that you're at the pro level, then I think go ahead and go into the AM level if you want.
Yeah, that's
to
what
compete.
really pissed some people off when I dropped.
Why?
Because I'm better than half of them. I'm not that good, but AM is.
There's some really good players in the AMs, and there's some really horrible players in the AMs.
It's the same thing at
You
pros.
will,
The good ones shouldn't be
I
there.
promise you that you will be appropriately challenged. If you have doubts, then you will not be challenged. I can.
No, I got that down.
Especially at Air.
Okay.
And that's your excuse to, there's your excuse to, you can tell them, I'm playing this year AM for the points, and then once I win, then I'll get my trophy. And
I don't want to go right?
See you later. Okay.
You'll be on TV.
There's a common understanding. Like, if you're in the castle and you're shooting par and below every round, play pro.
Yeah.
If you're shooting par, around par and above, you'd be good in AM. Every once in a while, somebody has a great day and they shoot low 60s. Unless you're Lamar, you shoot double 50 something.
Well, this is true.
And then I will ride you and call you a bagger for this.
You're like,
Let me finish my year.
you just want to be on TV.
Let's move on.
yeah, let's table this.
Just real quickly, I haven't spoken to Tim Chapman in New York yet because we're still putting sponsor contracts together. The next time I contact him, I won't have the information that Jeff Erickson spoke about. And as I said earlier, I haven't spoken to Paige Snow yet either. He's already told me he's busy during the holidays. I'm not worried because I know he wants to help us. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit. We're going to table the hot shot. We're going to table the bag tag idea, which was Keith's idea that he spoke to me about. We're going to go right into bylaws. Well, let's just look. I made 5 or 6 additions, changes, whatever you want to call them, to the bylaws. They're getting very refined now. The changes are getting smaller and more precise. It's been posted online, on Facebook. Look at it, read it. I would like to go over it one last time at the next meeting and try to vote it in, and then it'll be done. We've carried it on for about 4 or 5 months. I've taken all your advice. It's been good advice. And I think that we're 95% done with the bylaws, barring any more confusing wording or anything that we somehow may have left out. Let's get to elections and committee chair appointments. If you will, please pull out the list. The committee roster list.
So we need that projection.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Let me just say, I understand that some of you like to keep things in your head or whatever, but you know, if you really want to keep up with what we're doing, you probably need to print off at least 4 or 5 of these sheets of paper of what we're going to be talking about during the meeting, so you can follow along.
I didn't see that committee roster list on there to
On the
download
Facebook?
it, so yeah, I missed it.
It's in there in the file section. It is. You might have missed it because there's a bunch of stuff in the file section. And to clarify, so no one be, I put at about 5 o'clock today, please try to print out the agenda, the roster, the bylaws, and the committee projects.
And hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to get this on the website, so you will not have to go to Facebook.
Which website?
NewHanoverDGC.com.
The old one?
It's NewHanoverDGC.com. That's our club website. It has been our club website for 6 years now. New Hanover.
Is it the one that's not getting updated, or?
It's a website. It's there.
Yeah, it's been updated.
Yeah,
There's nothing else.
It's the green, but it's there.
NewHanoverDGC.com.
Last time getting, we're working.
It works. It just
It's
has to be
there.
updated.
It needs some updating. Some of it has been updated, some of it hasn't. I apologize. I can't do everything.
We'll
I've
get
only
it
done about 1,000
But
things
but that
in the last
website's
3
there.
months.
It's there. It ain't going nowhere.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
I keep checking both of them. I
Well,
got
no, that's what I'm saying.
that one
We-
and the Facebook.
We're not. What I was trying to say. What I'm saying is, eventually down the road,
Yeah.
we'll get this stuff on the
It's
website.
coming.
Yeah.
And by the way, any of you who feel strongly about some of these things, please feel free to jump in and take
Absolutely.
care of
If
it.
you guys know how to do websites,
Yeah, please. We'll let you that big of a deal. All right, looking at the membership committee list, Jeff, I guess you put yourself on as membership. I thought maybe, I don't know if you made a mistake, would you rather be on
No, it was
communications?
sponsorship, and that's when Dave said I should be in more towards communication.
Okay, well then, I have to change that, and I'm just gonna put you in the communications,
That's
and we'll
fine.
figure out later.
I mean, I already brought in 3 extra members when
I
I
know.
came on, but,
we need to make a committee for
I
Jeff.
just don't want to be on
We
the
need to make a
membership
committee for
committee.
Jeff.
Okay, good to know. I'm going to, I kind of ranked, I took the 3 people that I thought would be good to be a committee chair and kind of put them at the top of the list. The rest of the people on the larger committees are really, there's no particular order. But starting with membership committee, I felt like Troy would be an excellent chairman, and I just want to just lay that out there and ask you what you think. If it's something you might be into chairing, spending a little bit of time kind of helping get the membership list, overseeing these things, if you would be willing to accept that appointment.
Certainly.
Wonderful. And Troy is our man for the membership. He is now membership committee chairman, and it will be so noted when I update the committee roster. Now, the communications.
Should we put that to a vote, or?
Well, committee chair people, as I said a couple of meetings ago, typically are appointed by the president. We can vote them in. It's a much more lengthy process and may require a little bit more debate and time.
Okay. So if he's willing to do it,
It's,
let's do
yeah,
it.
if he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
It is in the bylaws.
Dave.
I'm trying to get out of it.
I'm trying to tell you. Look here, I was drunk when I said that.
All righty, wonderful. The communications committee, I put top 3 people in there that I felt like, and now of course Jeff's in that committee. We now know that Russell will not be able to be super participant in the communications. But Ari, I kind of put you at the top of that, and I know that already you do and are into a lot of the things we do. I just want to find out, and once again, being the chairman is not really a whole lot of extra responsibility other than the fact that you're the point man. If someone has a question about what they're doing, they come to you, and then if you didn't know how to answer them, you would come to me. But I just want, and you don't have to answer now, and you can say no now if you want to, but at this point in time, I feel like you're at the top of the list for being the communications chairperson, how do you feel about that?
I'm good with that.
Are you fine with that?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful, buddy.
Absolutely.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Bob, I'd
Yes,
like
sir.
to take it off of communications and putting on maintenance.
Okay, so Troy has just been moved.
Just because Rudy's my hero.
She is the communications.
You are the communications guru.
So look, when you want to bring something up, I'll bring it to you. And if you can't figure it out, you and you go to Boz.
Me, I'll ask myself, hey, can I do this? No. All right.
What should I do here?
Don't ask any of my ex-girlfriends. They will not. No, you're not communicating with
We're
anybody.
going to start on that one.
There are two numbers to name.
Yeah.
All right, the maintenance committee. Look, I think it's a no-brainer. I think Rudy Dixon's on there.
Oh, no, yeah.
And I don't want you to feel any pressure
I think
Rudy, to be our maintenance committee chairman.
I think with that,
But I would like to.
I think Rudy would need a sub-chairman,
Or co-chairman,
a
or okay.
co-chairman that he can lean on for communication.
Should there be one for both courses?
That was my question.
Yeah.
That was my question.
There needs to be
Because maintenance is a big thing.
Separate,
You know what I'm saying?
committee chairman
You
for
can
each
check
course.
so you can have some.
Oh, right, right.
I think.
Did he say yes or no?
It's debatable.
But what I was saying was, someone he can lean on to post to Facebook, to
There's a lot of people on. You're right. There's a lot of people on this committee, but let's start right here with the chairman. The question was asked: do we need two co-chairmen or for separate? I don't think we do. I think we need one person to oversee everything. If Rudy can't be in an Arrowhead workday, then he's going to look at one of his sub people or whatever and appoint them sort of as the person to make sure it gets done. So let's just keep it simple right now. Rudy, would you like to be the maintenance committee chairman?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
Nice.
I'd like to add something to
Yes.
that because there was a mention about communication with the Facebook and stuff like that.
Yes.
I guess Rudy and I probably just need to talk a little bit more.
Right.
So when there's something that that you're doing or that you want to let everybody know about, then you and I can talk about
Yeah, there you
it
go.
and I can post it.
Yeah, you know, that's,
And I think you have my number, or you should have my number. If not, we'll talk a little bit. Okay. All right.
I know that
Text like Troy, change the channel.
I know that you're not on Facebook and don't really have any plans in your future of being on Facebook. And I'm going to force you to go on Facebook. But somehow or another, you seem to know more about what's going on around the courses than most of us, most of the time, through some magical way that you have. So I have no complaints thus far. Okay?
He can route all that through me.
Yes, and do simply the track record. The track record that already stands. I've never had one problem with Rudy failing at all in any capacity, anything he's ever elected to do. So therefore, he gets my vote 100%.
we made you the maintenance czar back in
Yeah,
the day.
that's right.
There you go.
You were
Official czar.
there.
All right, and as for the tournament committee chairman, Dave, I put you at the top of the list. But I totally understand if you
most
don't
experienced.
want.
I mean,
That's
I'd
totally-
rather not be, to be
Okay.
honest. I mean,
Then my second choice, it's kind of a tie between Drew and Matt. So Drew, you're here.
Blood wrestle.
I will not be there.
Chairman.
I'll bet on it, but I don't want to.
I would say yes, hinging on Clemson not wanting it more.
Drew and Matt are
Okay.
tandem anyway.
Yeah.
Don't you
So-
say?
They're kind of joined to him.
Two-headed dragon.
Batman and Robin.
Joining to him.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So for right now,
He just wants to play in the tournament.
all right.
Show up, play.
I'd like a round of applause for all our new committee chairmen. It takes a lot to step up and take on that super heavy responsibility. All right.
You just said it wasn't that much big of a deal.
Hey, boss.
All right.
Now you know how much I actually thought.
All right, calm down, yes.
Take me off the maintenance committee part of it, and put me on communication, so my boy Chi isn't by himself on
Thank you.
communication.
Right on.
Thank you, Sir Fig.
Go, way to step up.
Join him at the hip.
Way to step up.
My man.
And our final official
Thank
piece
you,
of
Steve.
business, we're going to take officer nominations tonight. You may nominate yourself. If someone nominates you, you may also refuse the nomination. I'm just going to assume that the office of president is actually not up for nomination, that I'm in for the next year.
Absolutely.
But we still have vice president.
Make a motion that Boz continue his role as president for the next year.
Second.
All in
Scary.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Nominations for vice president. I'd like to nominate Brent Newton.
I second. Third.
Brent, do you refuse the nomination or do you accept it?
Come on, Fig.
I accept it.
Very good.
I'd like to,
favor?
You want to nominate someone?
I'd like to nominate Drew Price.
Okay.
Second that.
I know also that you, Troy, have had your eyes on the vice president.
No. I want sergeant at arms.
There we
Well,
go.
we might need to add that on.
wrestling for anything.
I know he has arms.
We might need to add that on.
See that? That's
I got a trunk full of sand.
All right, that's going pretty quick, actually. All right, we're now accepting nominations for treasurer.
Come on, boys. Somebody wants to
I
do
know
it now. Come on, guys.
I have respect to Dave. I'm not going to nominate him.
I will nominate myself if
To continue,
if
okay.
nobody else wants to do it.
Well, I just nominated you.
I mean, well, thank you, sir. I will
Second.
accept your nomination.
All right, second.
All right, thank you, Dave, and I understand that you're
No,
trying
I'm-
to
I'm all about that. That's
change
right.
your role.
You do a great job with
Thank
the money. You do.
Thank
You really do.
Okay, and then finally, secretary, we have the secretary position taken care of, and I'll just solicit anyone who wants to possibly do secretarial duties, but right now, the camera's taking care of all that. Is there anyone that even thinks we need a secretary right now?
What's she look like?
Well, unless she's pretty.
You better
I
come.
know Brad looks pretty good in
She's
fishnet.
not. She's not.
She work under the table.
Okay, so
Very nice touch. That's all I need to know. It seems to me that would be a
we will, at the next meeting, have a brief debate about the merits of these officer candidates, and then have a vote, and officially vote them in.
So we're going to elect officials in January.
I would love to elect officials in
I'm cool with that.
January.
What, no sergeant at arms?
Do it.
You know what, I'll add that
We
in
could
there.
create it,
You
yeah.
want to?
Yes.
Would you like to be
I
nominated?
certainly would.
Second.
What do they do?
Bring on Louisville Slugger, get out of line, right on the head.
You need a mascot.
We got one, okay. So you have the next 30 days to run your campaign and convince as many people as you can.
Second.
Are there any announcements?
Yes, I have one. December 14th, the day after my birthday, there is a.
Oh, you got a birthday coming.
Saturday. Good thing that's empty. Saturday, December 14th, there is a Toys for Tots concert show at Wild Wing Cafe. L-Shaped Lot's doing it. So if you bring a toy, you get in for free. It's Toys for Tots. I did it last year. It's a blast. It's one of the best things that you could do. I mean, it doesn't have to be, us. But, if anybody wants to come, or even if you want to just give me some toys that you don't think I want to play with, then I'll take them. I'll take them for Toys for Tots. But, I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, there's kids all over the place that don't have anything. And it's, instead of buying me all the awesome gifts that you guys are going to do for my birthday, just buy a toy and...
I'll give a kid Coors Light.
Anyway, that's all.
I have one more question
The little ponies.
about Arrowhead.
Yes.
In the beginning, a year or so ago, Tara wanted the course to start at the end of that asphalt walkway. Is that still in the plans? Or?
That is still a possibility. I'm not going to rule that out. The bottom line is that the committee, the subcommittee needs to get together and design the best course there. From a course designer's standpoint, a road that they accidentally paved and put in the wrong place should not really be a driving force behind finding the best 18 holes on a piece of property. Now, the flip side of that coin is it's their property, it's their course, and if they are insistent upon it, then we may have to oblige them. But I have told them that my opinion is, if it works, it will, but we're not going to force it, because it may cause the course not to be as good as it can be. And that's
We
the
want it to
bottom
be as
line.
good as it can be.
Let's
We
just
do
pray
want
we get
that.
that land, man. Let's just pray we get
That's
that
right.
land. If we get that land, man, it'll open.
Yeah, it'll open things up over there.
Wonderful.
Are we above bribing county officials?
I just need to start the email campaigns.
One last announcement.
Yeah, I opened a forum page for the club.
That's
So
right.
anything we talk about here, you know, if you want to further it, don't use our public page that everybody sees. There's an actual forum page, and if you're a member, which y'all are up here, if you're not on it, friend me, and I can add you to it. And then
It's
you
a
know,
private page. It's not a
Yeah.
public page. It's
Okay.
only for us.
club eyes only,
Please.
and you know, just continue the discussion there.
If you have something negative or
You know,
you have a grief, let's do it on the forum instead of our public
Right.
cause.
Keep it as positive
Good
possible.
idea.
You got to.
Oh, you heard
Say
it.
that.
Can you add the director of operations as an admin to that group?
Let's keep it in-house.
So given that, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Thank
Good
you,
seeing you
Brad.
guys.
Thanks again, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brad, for.
Appreciate it. Sorry about the mess.
I'll pass your thanks along to my wife.
Taylor, super thanks.
Tell Cynthia thank you.